Hey everybody, the Arthur of Gaming here. Today I'm here to show you about puzzle floor tiles. I recently, in my River Break live stream, had the players come across a puzzle floor. Dwarvenforge happens to make a great puzzle floor, so that's kind of what I'm going to show you today and how I made the puzzle floor that I made specifically for my game. So if you wanted to duplicate it. So in Dwarvenforge's puzzle floor tiles. It has 8 of these floors, and they come with these little squares that go inside them, in which you can put stickers on with various things on them, like letters. There's some glowing letters. There's some not glowing letters. There are symbols. There are just the black and white floors, which, see, if you take this, the back of the floor has got these holes in it. And if you just take this little device that they give you in it and you push on it, it pops it right out. So that way you can easily change your floor tiles around. So for me, what I did was, as you see here, so this is the puzzle floor that I made. What I made was, I actually made a chessboard. So I made all my squares black and white, like this, like you see here. And then as my player, and then I'll explain the chessboard part in just a moment. I want to explain to you how I made the chessboard first. So the puzzle floor is literally all the floor pieces. So just the floor pieces. None of these walls back here, those were not part of are not part of the puzzle floor. It is the floor pieces specifically. And if you take a look at another view here, there's another view of the puzzle floor with my color Hero Forge minis, color printed ones, on the puzzle floor. I look here, here's an even closer view of it. And then lastly, if you want to take a look, here is the Dwarvenforge page itself for the puzzle floor tiles painted, which are $43. They come with 8 puzzle, if you look here, you can kind of see here, 8 puzzle floor tiles, 1 decal sheet, which has a whole bunch of sheets, and then 40 of the inserts, which are the little pieces that go in the squares. If you look, here's what one looks like without any pieces in it. It's just ready to put pieces in it. You can then take a piece like this and you stick it in it and it stays in it. See, it stays in it. And then you can use the little device to pop it out the back. Now, to make the puzzle floor tiles that I made, like this puzzle floor here, it actually took 2 sets of puzzle tiles because there are 8 puzzle floors in each pack, and I needed 16 because I was making a chessboard. So an 8x8 grid. So I needed 16 of these puzzle floor pieces to make that 8x8 grid. Now, when I made it, I made it for a chessboard specifically, like I said, and I'll explain that part in a minute. So, however, the puzzle floor itself doesn't come with enough decals to make the entire chessboard out of this. So what I had to do was, if you look here, these are the puzzle floor decal sheets. And if you see, there's just enough. This is all the ones here that I use for the puzzle floor. But there's all of these options. There's some colors. There's glowing runes. There's glowing letters. There's more glowing runes and numbers. And then there's non-glowing versions of all those runes as well. There's some nice floor pieces, which are like a 4x4 grid of like some symbols, some arcane symbols, and again, glowing and not glowing. So you could set those up, however you wanted to do it. You could pop just the floor pieces out, put the new floor pieces in when it's glowing, if it's activated, for instance, all that sort of thing. So that's all the puzzle decal sheet. The puzzle decal sheet's only $9. So what I made, this here, took 2 complete puzzle floor sets and 2 extra puzzle floor decals. So it was a total of 4 sets of decals, 2 sets of pieces. So that's roughly $86 plus another $18. So looking at $104. You could get enough pieces to make an 8x8 chessboard. And of course, this fits with all their regular dungeon stuff. It's the same size, it's the same thickness. So as you see here, back here, it easily just kind of fits right in. Here's some of the regular dungeon stuff here. It just transitions right to it. There's no extra lip, no extra edge. It all just fits seamlessly with their walls and all that kind of stuff. It fits perfectly. It made for a great puzzle floor. So to do this, just to recap, 2 sets of puzzle floors, 2 extra sets of decals, and with that you can make a 8x8 puzzle board as a chessboard. Now, why did I make a chessboard? Well, many years ago, I had seen an adventure where they had a chessboard and the players became chess pieces and they fought on the chessboard. And I've always kind of wanted to recreate the chessboard and just never was able to do it. So finally, I got it in my head for my River Break game. The players were going after an artifact hammer that they needed to do what they wanted to do. So they were going for this hammer, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to put the hammer behind a chessboard and have them encounter the chessboard. So this is what I did. As you see, you got the floor here. The players, when they walk in, whatever position on the chessboard they step on, that's what piece they actually become. The game does not get activated until all the players step on the back row. They can't move off the back row. I just had like a magic barrier stop them from moving until everybody got on the back row. And then they all become the chess pieces. Now, they have no other pawns, no other pieces on their side other than themselves. The enemy, however, what I did was I had all their pieces. I had a pre-made setup where there was pieces already advanced on the board, all over the board, and the pieces were invisible. So the players did not know where the pieces were and did not know where the king was to try and find it. The goal is, of course, they kill the king. If they kill the king, then they win. All the pieces melt away, and they win. None of the players were kings, although if a player had been the king, if a player had stepped on the king space, they would have had to stay alive, or if they had died, they would have gone out, but nobody did in my case, so all they had to do was survive. And the enemy pieces, are in fact monsters. So you can tailor this to your players based on what level they are. I took various like human NPC kind of monsters out of the book, like the gladiator and all that kind of stuff, the archmage and that sort of thing, and gave them positions on the opposite board. When I ran this, I actually had off camera, because I did this on my River Break live stream, which is on twitch.tv/vorpalboard. You should check us out. We're every other Wednesday from 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to about 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I ran this 2 sessions ago on that stream. So when I did it, the other pieces were invisible, and I had a chessboard off camera. So when I saw the players move, and I had on my chessboard, I had other pieces for the players, and I moved them on my chessboard as well as on this board back here, so that the players could see what they were doing. And when they moved adjacent to a monster, then I put that monster on the board. So until they were adjacent to a piece that was a monster, the monsters did not show up. It worked out well for the players. Korbog, who plays a paladin, happened to step on the queen spot, which was good for him. The Muvera, who is played by Ember Moon, she stepped on the rook spot, so her rogue was a rook. And then the third player that I had at that time, because I only had three players for this, was Bryn, who is a fighter rogue. And so he happened to step on the knight spot, which worked out well because he could shoot things. And that's an exception. So if a player is a bishop, they can only attack diagonally. So what I did was, when you made a move, wherever you moved to, you were done. If you attacked, you could continue your movement, but you're only one move per turn. I did an initiative order, and between all the players' turns, I moved chess pieces, because you move aside, I move aside, you move aside, I move aside. So that's how I worked that out, and just made sure that the players attacked only where they could. So Korbog was fine. He was the queen. He could attack any direction. Muvera, who was the rogue, who's Ember Moon, she could only attack, in rows and columns, not like diagonally. And then Bryn, who was the knight, actually could only attack where a knight could attack, up 2/1, up 1/2, etc. So it worked out well because he also has a bow. So it worked out perfect for him. He could attack, in that range way. So, but if he landed next to something, he couldn't attack the creature next to him. So he found that out pretty quickly. So that's how I set that all up. And so they just had to play until they managed to find the king, and they killed the king, and the room was over. So I think it's a good way to do it. Having the pieces be invisible until you move next to them caused some complications for them, which was nice, because they don't know where they can move to, so they try and move until they bump into something, and then a piece shows up. And then they can have the option at that point that they could attack that piece or something. But it just made it so they couldn't just go, okay, the king is there, I move and I attack the king. So it's kind of like playing chess with an opponent where you don't get to see their board, which was kind of fun. I thought it was kind of fun. They seemed to like it a little bit. They didn't have as much fun with it as I did, but I thought it was fun. So that's how you could do a chess room trap, so to speak, for your players. And like I said, go to Dwarvenforge. You can get the puzzle floor tiles. They are amazing. They are so good. They are made out of the dwarvenite, which means you can drop them and step on them, and they're not worried about them breaking, which is awesome. They have magnets on the back, so you can have them stick down to magnetic underlays if you have them, etc. You have the decal sheets here. You can see all the different decals. I love Dwarvenforge stuff. I love their puzzle floors. I've used it now a few different times for not only for a chessboard, but for actual puzzle floors with letters where players had to jump from place to place to, spell words out to get across a room. And if they spelled the wrong one, they took damage, etc. So the puzzle floors give you lots of great options for putting into your dungeon. So everything here can be found at www.dwarvenforge.com. All this terrain pieces, all the floor, all the decals that I showed you, all Dwarvenforge. These minis are Hero Forge, www.heroforge.com. They are the color printed minis. So this mini is not painted. This mini, which is Korbog back here, not painted. Not painted, not painted. It is printed in that color, and they look amazing. They're so good. The printing is so great. They look really, really great. So you should check those guys out as well. And just, as always, everybody, like, comment below. Let me know what you guys are liking. Go to my Instagram at The Arthur of Gaming, my Facebook at The Arthur of Gaming, here on my YouTube channel. Follow everything. Look for more stuff. Comment. Let me know what kind of stuff you guys want to see, because I want to make stuff that maybe you're interested in, maybe stuff you see on my River Break show that you might want to see a little better, like this, something a little more detailed, so you kind of know how I built it or what pieces I used or that kind of stuff. Give me some heads up on that stuff, because I totally want to make stuff that you guys want to see. So Dwarvenforge, Hero Forge, check it out. My River Break stream, twitch.tv/vorpalboard. Take care, everybody. As always, it's this crazy, crazy world out there, and be safe.